Disappointing year for Auburn under Hugh Freeze. Went 5-7 last year. Had a lot of issues. Just couldn't really get wins when it came down to it. Minus the A&M game this time, I pulled that one out. Unfortunately, I wish they didn't. But they bring back a ton of players, especially on defense. You bring back guys like Cam Coleman on offense and supplement him with Eric Singleton and Jackson Arnold at QB out of the portal. And we can go and talk about Jackson Arnold. Had a very, very bad year at Oklahoma last year. But the whole offense at Oklahoma was terrible. The offensive line was terrible. The receiving core was terrible.
Hurt all year.
He didn't play great at all, but I don't really know if he had a chance to play great. I'll go ahead and read you his stats here. He threw for 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and then ran the ball for 444 yards and some TDs on the ground there too. Also got benched after like 2 games, which I thought was a pretty rash panic move from Brent Venables. He wasn't playing well, but to me it was pretty clear that the issues weren't necessarily just on him, and throwing a true freshman into the fire was not likely to fix it, and I think that could have hurt his confidence as well. But he transfers out of Oklahoma and finds himself in a better position, simply put, this year at Auburn. I already mentioned Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. Those will be his top 2 weapons. Both are possibly top 10 wide receivers in the country. Cam Coleman's a true sophomore, and then Eric Singleton put up great numbers at Georgia Tech last year. Thoughts on Jackson Arnold, JP?
I also have thoughts, and this is one of the few quarterbacks where I have
you go first.
Thoughts,
we can kick to JP.
I normally discount everything I hear about preseason and training camp, fall camp, like whatever it is, because everyone is just highlighting the good throws. The majority of the stuff you're going to see is going to be the people excited, right? And even state fans are buying into that, having us win 6 games, 8 games. I saw someone have us win 10 games. So the enthusiasm, the excitement around camps like that generates a lot of positive news. And the news around Jackson Arnold has not been positive. I've seen some pretty negative stuff about Jackson Arnold, which my brain thinks, well, if we're hearing bad things, then it has to be really bad for it to come out as bad, because you can take something that's average and try and spin it in a positive light, as if you're a beat writer or if you're an insider or anything. So I'm very low on Jackson Arnold. I was excited to see him, given the talent he had coming out of high school. Excited to see him at Auburn with Cam Coleman. But given what I've been hearing coming out of the camps, I am low on him. I am not buying. I am selling on Jackson Arnold as much as possible.
Selling as much as possible. So all your stocks, all your Jackson Arnold stock is gone.
I have
not
0.
even holding on to a couple?
Nope.
Okay. JP, what are your thoughts on the kid?
I personally agree with the notion that it was just hugely receiver based. And their big marquee win against Alabama, Jackson Arnold's stat line was 11 throws, 9 completions for 68 yards. He ran 25 times for 131 yards on a primetime game against Alabama. That was in large part because of the receivers. And the way he played even in that game was, I thought, remarkable, being the rushing threat that he was. And for them to win that game, that was their biggest win of the season last year at Oklahoma. I think it was a large part receiver-based. I think the talent is still there. I understand the negative discourse that's being heard from fall camp right now, but I think the talent is there for Arnold. I don't trust the coach. I don't trust the team. I don't necessarily trust the talent, especially defensively this year. Offensively, they could potentially be great. If Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton are excellent receivers. Eric Singleton's going to be first-round pick this year, and Cam Coleman might be a first or second-round pick next year. The talent is there for them. So it's almost no excuse for Jackson and that offense, but I do not trust Hugh Freeze, and that's shown over the past 2 years, 6-7, 5-7 at Auburn. That's kind of unacceptable. The Cal loss, to start really the year last year, is as soon as that happened, it was oh, shit.
Yeah.
Something is not going on right here that needs to be going on. I don't care if you thought the quarterback situation was bad last year for them, which there's obviously debate there, and that's why they brought in Arnold to replace everything. But to lose to Cal in Jordan-Hare is unacceptable.
Because Jordan-Hare's supposed to be this sacred, no one beats us here type beat, and then Cal comes and beats you there.
Losing to SEC teams there I'm fine with it. It's not really a big issue for me. The Oklahoma loss, though, was kind of unacceptable with the way they kind of threw that one away. To lose against Vanderbilt at home is not, good for the eye, even as good as Vandy was last year. And I don't think that's a Jackson Arnold problem. That's going to be solved by Jackson. I think it's a Hugh Freeze problem, and I don't think he's the coach for the job. And that's not just a State fan hating on a former Old Piss head coach.
Sure.
That's me being honest.
Objective ball statement, I guess. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the biggest swing teams we have in the SEC because there is a chance that they could really put it together. I agree. I don't trust Hugh Freeze. We had our winter festivities board meeting last night, which for those of y'all that don't know is basically a group of my friends, and we make our top 25 rankings every year, and we put it in a ballot. And someone mentioned the Auburn morality nerf because Hugh Freeze is their head coach, and I just thought that was really funny that they're playing under this supposed morality nerf for things
funny.
he's done in the past. Which, I mean, if so, I can't really complain. I do think their defense will be improved from last year just because it was so young last year, and they return a ton of in-house guys. All 11 starters are going to be people that have been in the program for multiple years, projected starters, that is. But I can't buy into this team. I don't really know why. Maybe it's the training camp buzz. Maybe it's just they've had 4 straight losing seasons, and so for me to be like, oh, you've had a losing season 4 years in a row, now you're going to go win 8 or 9 games in the SEC, just seems like a bit of a big jump, in my opinion. But yeah, I can't buy in for whatever reason.
Jack, can you translate? Tucker said Auburn getting a quarterback transfer whose best moment is beating Alabama at home.
I mean, I feel like he maybe is talking about Zach Calzada.
Yeah, that's okay. That would make sense. How did
who
that
we
pan
will
out?
get to later on the list.
Not well.
Well, I mean, he didn't transfer into us necessarily.
He transferred to
Out.
Auburn.
Yeah, he did. Dude, I
Yeah.
completely forgot
I
he
think
took a
that's
stop
what
at Auburn.
Yeah, I think that's what
Crazy.
Tucker's getting at. Is Zach Calzada beat Alabama at home at A&M, transfers to Auburn, and nothing good comes of it?
Yeah,
I mean,
Zach
it's just-
Calzada was never supposed to be as good as Jackson Arnold, though, which I know
Yeah.
Tucker's not trying to say this is a one-to-one comparison, but I completely forgot Calzada took a stop at Auburn, and
Yeah,
that year
that's
was
funny.
disastrous for many reasons, not just Calzada.
Over and under 7.5. Tough schedule yet again. Some really hard road games at Baylor to open the season. A hard out of conference game at Oklahoma, at A&M, Georgia, at Vanderbilt, Alabama at home.
I'm taking the under here. I think they will make a bowl this year. They'll stop the streak of losing seasons, but it's just the second tier in the SEC this year in terms of like your South Carolinas, your A&Ms, your Oklahoma, stuff like that is so competitive, and I really like a lot of those teams, and so I'm not going to have them kind of break the 8-win mark.
Yeah. So JP, for 7.5, do you need 9 wins? Is that how it works?
Yeah, give or take.
Give or
I think
take.
you need to say that. I mean, obviously guaranteed wins, sure, but yeah, 9 wins. That you see a world where 9 wins is pretty likely, and that's enough to say, okay, I can bet the over. Otherwise, you're.
Guessing.
I say that because you're pure gambling. You're just flipping a coin if you're just taking an over or under. In general, and flipping a coin, that's not bad odds. Like, I'd flip a coin for $1 million right now, lose or win. Like I'd take that opportunity.
Can I double down and flip it again after?
No, because no double or nothing or anything like that. But to really want to bet and put a bunch of money on it and put units on it, I think you got to find 9 wins. I don't see 9 wins there.
Me neither.
So I just don't see them hitting the over. Other people are high on them. I know some people in the media are especially high on them. I think they're just high on Jackson Arnold. But Hugh Freeze is the reality. And then I think just the program is the reality right now. They are not good enough. They're not up to the standard that they kind of think they are, which they have been for a lot of years among that elite class in the SEC, a tier down from the Alabamas and the Georgias. But they're just not that program right now.
Sure.
And they, I think, are steps away from that. I don't think a 9-win season says that, okay, we're back, because nothing's guaranteed, I think. And we've seen that with Hugh Freeze. The biggest thing I hate with the program is just the way that Hugh talks about the team. He
Yeah.
talks about this team And this program, and he even did it last year. Like, they are among the best in the ACC, and he's
SEC.
so super high on them, and he loves his guys, and he thinks we're building a really great thing, and we're getting it going, and then we lose to Cal at home. So I just don't see it there. I'm taking the under. I think Hugh's job is on the line.
Yeah.
In a lot of big games, especially Iron Bowl, that almost feels like a must-win at this point.
Well, because you're probably going into it with 5, 6, even if you think it'll be a good year for them, 7 wins,
Yeah.
and looking to win that one.
Hughes,
Either you're going into it with 5 wins trying to make a bowl game, or maybe you're at 8 wins
I think it's
kind of sticking to the playoffs. Like, there's a lot of scenarios where that game determines what the season meant.
I think it's more so a game for Hugh Freeze, because you hire a head coach to coach at Auburn to beat Alabama. Like, that is, for right now, what you are hiring a head coach to do. That would be his third opportunity, his second opportunity at home. And after the miracle with Jalen Monroe, yes, that was devastating. They should have won that game. But you weren't really competitive last year against, again, what was a bad Alabama team. And you got to win this one, especially if Alabama is bad again at home. That's kind of inexcusable. So I think it's a huge year for Hugh and for the Auburn Tigers, but I don't see it going well.
I mean, grass isn't always greener.
Yeah.
You fire Gus Malzahn after the run he had there and hire Brian Harsin, and then are immediately trying to make up stuff about him in year 2 and force him out. And then you bring in Hugh Freeze because, he's had this great success in the SEC before, and it's not panned out yet. So the clock is definitely ticking for him.
Yep.
I do wonder where they would pivot if they ended up firing him. But we all have the under here.
John Gruden said he liked Auburn in an interview.
He didn't
Maybe.
fit there. Maybe Lashley.
Lashley
Maybe.
fits there more, I feel like.
100%.